ClaretsTV speaking with former Chelmsford City players Paul Casey and Phile McCusker for the game today. Paul, what was your memories of that league title winning season back in 1989?
I think for me, I think the thing that stands out more than anything, I think people thought that we weren't probably the best players, but I think we had such a strong. How can you put it? Camaraderie. We were very good at looking out for each other, and we just went out on the pitch. We just looked out for each other, and we just did the business on the pitch, and really strong in that respect. And I think that sort of developed in the bar afterwards, because in those days, you'd have a few beers afterwards, and not so much these days. Everyone's looking at diets and things like that. But yeah, we had a good squad, and that was probably the best year and a half, 18 months of probably my football career, to be fair, playing for Chelmsford City.
And what was your position and what was your career?
Goalkeeper.
Bloody good one.
And I came and signed from Cambridge United back probably 1988 for that. No, probably maybe the season before, the end of the season before, and then we had the 88-89 season that we won, and then the 90 to 91 season, or 89 to 90 season. So I came from professional football to Chelmsford, which was I thought it was a stepping stone for me to get back into the game, but that sort of never materialised, unfortunately. But very enjoyable times. And to be fair, we were fortunate enough to have New Whittle Street as our home ground. And no disrespect to here where Chelmsford play now, the atmosphere at New Whittle Street back there was fantastic, and we used to get some really good crowds. I've played at New Whittle Street, 2,500 people, for a non-league game. Back in that day was fantastic. And the fans were always brilliant. So really good.
And Phil, what was your position and what was your memories of that season as well?
Well, I came the opposite way from Paul. So I cut my teeth in adult football in the Mid-Essex League and the Olympian League, and then through the reserves. And I think Simes'd overspent his budget on Alan Brazil, and he came looking for some bargains, and he found me and Chuck Schwen. And so I played right midfield. I had to battle for it. I had good players like Lance Pedler and Alec Gallagher up again. We were in for that position as well. Established myself in the side, and loved it. But for me, I was born and bred in Chelmsford. I worked in Chelmsford. I grew up in Chelmsford. Playing for your hometown, it was just magical. Yeah.
And unlike Paul, who didn't score a goal as a goalkeeper, but you scored a few goals. What was your favourite goal for Chelmsford?
Well, it would be remiss of me to not mention the Essex Senior Cup final.
Yeah.
I think it's extended to about 35 yards out, but it was, it was an equaliser in the game. It did turn the game, and top corner. That was just.
Did we play? That was at Dagenham. Did we play Grays?
Dagenham against Grays. Yeah, and we won 3-2. We were 1-0 down at half time. Kept the same side, and Dave McCoy knocked the ball down on the edge of the box, and I just hit it. It's the best goal, and for your hometown, unbelievable.
And the season before, I think we were relegated, so to go back sort of on the last day was quite unlucky. So to go straight back up again must have been really sort of fulfilling.
I'd sort of come in the last few games. I think sort of Simesy had taken over when things were not that great, and and whether he thought he had a plan to keep us up, and unfortunately that didn't happen. So going down was obviously devastating. But then to play in that league with the players that we had, to come straight back up, and go and I don't know, was it 13 or 14 games away from home unbeaten that year that was really decent.
Yeah, I mean, we had a good cup run at the beginning of the following season in the FA Cup. But as soon as it's like Paul said, the bond we had is something you can never take away. I mean, it's something that we're all here today. I mean, it's unbelievable. 35 years.
And we don't just this is not just we meet up here for a reunion. So the guys we meet regularly. So it just goes to show you that the bond that was created all those years ago is still there. And you see the guys today, and it's almost like you've never been away from each other.
So I think what I was going to say was, I reckon if we'd kept exactly the same squad, we might have done a little bit better in that next year in the Premier League. You never know. Hindsight's an easy thing.
Yeah. Then the current, you talked about the away record there. The current squad, by the way, we've got one away game left. If they win, they've broken your record of away win. So what was the secret to sort of away success for you, away from New Riddle Street, which was such a great atmosphere?
Probably the music on the bus. No.
The same now, I think.
What was the secret? I think it's that team ethic. I mean, there were no superstars in our team. Everyone played for each other, and when we were in a battle, and I can remember a few battles like Trowbridge and Folkestone, we dug in. We all dug in, and it didn't. We were quite versatile in terms of where we played.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing is that we did look out for each other, and it didn't matter where we go, and we were almost invincible to the fact is that no one was going to beat us, and that's how we felt, and you're right, we didn't have any superstars in the team. You looked at sides in and around us who had 4 or 5 individuals that would look on. What great players they are. We never had that. We didn't need that. We just had each other. That was the big thing for us.
And you keep keeping up with the results. I mean, this season, second in the league. It looks. Hopefully, in 35 years' time, we can have a reunion of this team. Thinking about promotion.
It'd be amazing. I mean, like I said, this was my home club. I live in Colchester now, but this was always my home club. So, Chelmsford having success is important, whatever year. It's always nice if we can keep our records, but.
Yeah, I mean, for me, hand on my heart, it would be great to see Chelmsford go up.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the 13-14 game away record that we had, to see them broken would be a little bit disappointing, if I'm honest. But
so you're going to be a Chippenham supporter on the last day then?
No, we'd never. No, do you know what? I'd love to see Chelmsford in the conference. That would be amazing. And who knows what would happen. This for years has always been a difficult league to get out of, and to see them achieve that would be great, would be absolutely fantastic.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because you've got the Chelmsford and Braintree battle, haven't you, in this season, and we had the Chelmsford Gravesend, and Gravesend were the team that kept sort of chasing us, didn't they?
Yeah, we always had Bury as well, didn't we?
Bury as well,
Yeah. So. But I'd like to see them. I'd like to see them go up. I'd like to see them, sustain a place in that next league. Would be great. And if you have success at any club, whether you're a player, you will always look out for results. And I look every time to see where they are, and especially with the away games.
Okay. Thanks, Paul and Phil, for your time today, and hope you enjoy the day.
Pleasure. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.